Hello friends, welcome on Beginners Point channel. Current affairs from 2022 to 26. ठीक है. Rahul Gandhi takes oaths as Lok Sabha MP with copy of constitution in his hand. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi was sworn in as a member of parliament from Raebareli on Tuesday, holding a copy of the Indian constitution during the ceremony. He was part of the remaining MPs who took their oaths today, after a total of 262 newly elected MPs, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi, did so on Monday, the inaugural session of the 18th Lok Sabha. Sri Lanka to sign debate restructuring agreements with India and Japan. Sri Lanka is set to sign agreements to restructure its bilateral debate with India and Japan on Wednesday. This news was confirmed by Foreign Minister M. Ali Sabri, who mentioned that President Ranil Wickremesinghe had updated the cabinet about the progress on Monday. Last week, cabinet spokesperson Minister Bandula Gunawardene announced that Sri Lanka is ready to sign agreements with its bilateral creditors. This move is expected to pave the way for resuming loan-funded projects in the country. PM Modi may visit Russia in July, Russian state media. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected to visit Russia in July, according to reports from Russian state news agency RIA on Tuesday. The potential visit would mark PM Modi's first trip to Russia since 2019 and his first since the outbreak of the Russia-Ukraine conflict in February 2022. RIA reported that preparations are underway for the high-level meeting between PM Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Kremlin had previously confirmed in March that PM Modi had an open invitation to visit Russia. Protecting 1.2% of Earth would prevent most extinctions, study says. Setting aside an additional 1.2% of the world's land as nature preserves would prevent the majority of predicted plant and animal extinctions and cost about $263 billion, according to a study published on Tuesday. The world is racing to meet a goal to protect 30% of the world by 2030 to protect wildlife that is being decimated by climate change, pollution, habitat destruction. Global policymakers will meet at a United Nations summit in Colombia in October to discuss plans for reaching that goal. China's Chang'e 6 moon probe lands back on Earth. China's Chang'e 6 lunar probe landed on Tuesday in the northern Chinese region of Inner Mongolia, making the country the first of bring back samples from the moon's far side. The re-entry capsule touched down at 2:07 p.m. Beijing time, according to the state broadcaster CCTV, carrying lunar soil collected earlier in the month by a probe after successful landing on the moon's south pole Atikan Basin, an impact crater on the side of the moon that always faces away from Earth. No consensus on Speaker India Bloc K. Suresh fielded against Om Birla for post. Efforts by the top leadership to broker a consensus on the position of the Speaker of the 18th Lok Sabha came to naught when the India Bloc decided to field 8-time MP K. Suresh for the post. His nomination followed the filling of a nomination by the BJP's Kota MP on Om Birla for the post. Birla was the speaker in the 17th Lok Sabha as well. The elections for the post will be held on June 26. BJP MP Piyush Goyal said there was no precedent to suggest that the deputy speaker's post must go to the opposition, and the opposition was needlessly choosing a showdown. 5G spectrum auction begins. Government aims to raise more than 96,000 crore. The auction for 5G spectrum to telecom service providers commenced on Tuesday. The Indian government is selling airwaves worth more than 96,000 crore rupees. The Department of Telecommunications dot is auctioning frequencies in the 800 megahertz, 900 megahertz, 18,000 megahertz, 21,000, 2100 megahertz, 2300 megahertz, 2500 megahertz, 3300 megahertz, 26 gigahertz bands. However, premium 5G airwaves in the 700 megahertz bands are not included in this auction due to supply shortages. Rajshahi Kolkata cross-border train service set to resume after 77 years. The cross-border train service between Rajshahi, Bangladesh and Kolkata, India is set to resume after a 77 years hertz. This announcement was made following a meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and her Bangladeshi counterpart Sheikh Hasina in New Delhi on Saturday last. This will be fourth international train between India and Bangladesh after Kolkata Dhaka Maitri Express, Kolkata Kulna Bandhan Express and New Jalpaiguri Dhaka Mitali Express. UNGA President honors India's Hansa Mehta on International Day for Women in Diplomacy. The occasion of the International Day for Women in Diplomacy, United Nations General Assembly, UNGA President Janice Francis paid tribute to Hansa Mehta, a feminist leader, activist, and diplomat from India, highlighting her pivotal role in shaping the Universal Declaration of Human Rights (UDHR) to be more inclusive. T20 World Cup Rohit Sharma shines as India beat Australia to enter semis. Rohit Sharma's swashbuckling 92, complemented by influential spells from Arshdeep Singh, Jasprit Bumrah, and Kuldeep Yadav, along with Akshar Patel's one-handed stunner, sealed a 24-run win for India against Australia, securing their berth in the semi-finals of the ongoing T20 World Cup. In a turbulent chase where momentum swung like a pendulum, India was punched their ticket to the semi-finals with a comprehensive win in St. Lucia. The Rohit Sharma-led side will face England in the semi-final at Providence Stadium, Guyana on June 27. Canada also considering imposing tariffs on Chinese-made EVs after the US and EU. Canadian Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland said that the country is considering whether to impose import tariffs on Chinese-made electric vehicle and will seek the public's opinion about the idea, Al Jazeera reported. Freeland said on Monday that the domestic car sector faced unfair competition because of the China's state-directed policy of overcapacity, adding that Ottawa would open a 30-day public consultation period on July 2 as to how Canada can respond. UNRWA sued by Israeli victims on October 7 Hamas attack. The United Nations Palestinian Refugee Agency was sued on Monday by dozens of Israelis who accused it on aiding and abetting the October 7 Hamas attack on Israel. In a complaint filed with the U.S. District Court in Manhattan, the plaintiffs said the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees in the Near East (UNRWA) spent more than a decade helping Hamas build what they called the terror infrastructure and personnel needed for the attack. Government rolls out nationwide campaign on tobacco-free educational institution (TOEFEI). The Ministry of Education has unveiled a comprehensive plan to create tobacco-free educational institutions across the nation. India, the world's second-largest consumer and producer of tobacco, faces a significant public health challenges with tobacco use accounting for approximately 1.35 million deaths annually. The Global Youth Tobacco Survey (GYTS) 2019 revealed that 8.5% of schools students aged 13 to 15 use tobacco in various forms. World No Tobacco Day observed on May 31, 2024, the Department of School Education and Literacy launched the TOFEI Implementation Manual. India is hosting 64th ISO Council meeting from June 25 to 27 in New Delhi. India is set to host the 64th ISO Counseling meeting, a significant global event in the sugar sector from June 25 to 27 in New Delhi. Delegates from over 30 countries along with representatives from various international organizations will convene to discuss critical issue related to the sugar and biofuel sectors. As the world's largest consumer and the second largest producer of sugar, India has been nominated by the ISO Council to the chair the organization for 2024 to kick off the series of events and industrial tour for international delegates will be held at a grain-based distillery in Muzaffarnagar, Uttar Pradesh on June 24th. This tour aims to showcase India's adaptation of the latest technology in the production of biofuels and other bioproducts. Russia is revising its nuclear doctrine, Kremlin says. Russia, the world's biggest nuclear power, has started updating its nuclear doctrine, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said on Monday, June 24, citing an earlier statement by President Vladimir Putin. President Putin has said that work is underway to bringing the doctrine into line with current realities, Peskov told a briefing without elaborating. EU adopts new sanctions against Russia, including LNG. European Union countries adopted a 14th package of sanctions on Russia that aims to close some circumvention loopholes and hits Russia's gas exports for the first time, EU Foreign Affairs Minister said in a statement on Monday. Western powers imposed sweeping sanctions on Moscow after Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, which has been progressively ramped up since. Two scientists win China's top Science Tech Award. Two Chinese scientists, Li Deren and Xu Kuyan, won China's top science award on Monday for their outstanding contributions to the country's science and technology development. At an annual ceremony held Monday in Beijing to honor distinguished scientists and engineers, Li, a scientist in photogrammetry and remote sensing, and Xu, a scientist in material physics, were awarded the State Preeminent Science and Technology Award, China's top science honor. Pakistan delegations in India to discuss Indus Water Treaty. Security has been increased outside the hotel where the visiting delegations from Pakistan is staying in Jammu. The delegation, which arrived in India on Sunday evening in connection with the 1960 Indus Water Treaty, is scheduled to visit Kishtwar to see the dam sites. The Indus Water Treaty was signed between the Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru and former Pakistan President Ayub Khan in 1960, with the World Bank as signatory to the pact. BIS introduced new safety standard for EVs in India. The Bureau of Indian Standards (BIS) introduced two new guidelines aimed to enhancing the safety of electric vehicles in LMN categories. L refers to wheelers, while the M and N categories correspond to four-wheelers and good trucks respectively. These new sets of rules, called is 18590 is to 2024 and IS 18606 is to 2024, focus on the main parts of the electric cars, buses and trucks, especially the powertrain, which includes parts like the motor and transmission. These standards are crucial in driving the transition to a more sustainable, environmentally friendly and efficient transportation system in the country. GST exemption granted to platform tickets and essential railway services. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced that the next meeting of the Goods and Service Tax (GST) Council is tentatively scheduled for mid to late August. GST Council proposes exemption for specific services offered by Indian Railways to the general public as well as for intra-railway transactions. Russia launches missile attack on Kyiv and surrounding region, Ukraine says. Russia launched three missiles overnight on Ukraine with air defense system destroying two of the weapons of the Kyiv region. Ukraine's Air Force Commander Mykola Oleshchuk said on Sunday. In his statement on the Telegram messaging app, Oleshchuk did not say what happened to the third missile. There were no immediate reports from Ukrainian officials of damage or injuries as a result of the attack. Amit Shah inaugurates First Track Immigration Trusted Traveler program at Delhi IGI Airport in a first of its kind initiative to provide more amenities for Indian nationals and OIC passengers. Union Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurates the First Track Immigration Trusted Traveler program FTITTP at Terminal 3 of Indira Gandhi International Airport on Saturday. The FTI-TTP aims to simplify and secure international travel by developing world-class immigration facilities through an expedited pathway for international travelers screened by automated e-gates. India to start e-medical visa facility for Bangladesh nationals, open new consulate in Rangpur. India will start an e-medical visa facility for Bangladeshi nationals coming to India for medical treatment, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced on Saturday after a meeting between the two delegations in the national capital. Additionally, India will open a new consulate in Rangpur, Bangladesh to facilitate services for people in the northwest region of the country. The two prime ministers addressed the media after their meeting at Hyderabad House on Saturday. PM Modi emphasized that the two leaders have met several times in the last year, adding that this visit is special because PM Sheikh Hasina is India's first state guest during the third tenure of the NDA government. Anti-paper leak law for exams comes into effect amid NEET UGC NEET row. The Public Examinations Prevention of Unfair Means Act 2024, which aims to prevent unfair means in public examination and common entrance tests held across the country, came into effect on Friday. This follows the massive row over alleged malpractices in conducting the NEET and UGC NET examination. The bill was passed by both houses of parliament in the budget session, which concluded on February 10. It seeks to prevent the house of unfair means in public examinations and bring greater transparency, fairness, and credibility. UP government likely to introduce new policies for conducting recruitment exams. Amid alleged irregularities surrounding competitive exams like NEET, UGC, and NET, the Uttar Pradesh government plans to implement new policies to ensure that recruitment exams in the state are conducted in a free and fair manner. 4 agencies will be given the responsibility for conducting the recruitment examinations as per state government sources. Additionally, candidates will be required to go outside their home board Griff Mandal to appear for the exams. However, this restriction will not apply to disabled individuals and women. The sources also informed that if an exam has more than 4 lakh candidates, it will be conducted in 2 phases. To prevent rigging in results, the scanning of OMR sheet will be done by the commission and the board itself. A decision has also been made regarding the setting up of examination centers. 2 categories have been created for this purpose. Current affairs is over. Thank you very much.